as like CEO, right, of an investment firm, how do you look at gold as a backed, right, as the back standard for the dollar, right? Do you think there's a reality, there's a movement, there's support for it, like 1 to 5% or 10% support in, the American public or through, political powers doesn't really mean anything unless the most powerful voices say, I want to do this, right? In the next, 5 years, right? Unless, DeSantis and Trump, as powerful Republican voices, or, the Biden Clinton, regime. Can't even, the other gal vice president, she's,
yeah, we forgot her name long ago.
Yeah, I just don't think she's going to have a chance, with a voice, with the things that I've seen, and I don't, it just is how the press is perceiving people. It's, unless one of them comes and says, hey, let's make the American dollar backed by gold again. Do you really think it has a chance?
Okay, well, I don't run an investment firm. I used to be in, heavy advising people with money, okay. and now I run a mining company and several mining companies, but that we've been very successful and lucky on. But I don't really know how they would transition it. It's not something you go to the American public and take a vote on. I mean, this is something that, we've never really seen historically. I mean, I don't think it could just be, I guess the US system could adopt, a backing, but I think you'd have to probably go through, the World Bank as well, the IMF, like whatever it might be, because it's not just, an American, everyone takes US dollars across the globe, right? I mean, this is the world's strongest currency.
It's the only currency where there's enough space to have $1 billion transactions.
It's stable, right? It's a stable currency. So how do you actually transition it and back it? Really, the only reason why you'd have to do so is that if our US dollar started collapsing.
Yeah.
And my personal view is the US dollar right now, actually, we've seen a pretty nice run here, very strong dollar this week, but that's probably from a selling off stock markets. But
if the US dollar crashes, the world crashes.
Well, it won't. People value and devalue currencies for a number of reasons, but I don't think crash would be the word. But I do think the US dollar is too high. I think they will. I'm betting on a much lower US dollar. Hence, the move in commodities and prices that are quoted in US dollars. If the lower dollar comes into play, the price of the commodity is going to be higher. So that's one of the reasons for, this my push into metals and mining and other commodities. I think this is, like I said, we're in second inning of this mess that we have created ourselves since pre-COVID or red and red COVID, with all this printing press, everything. We still have a long way for this thing to unfold. I really think that again, inflation we're not even near it. We're going to see it continue. And I don't even think the amount of, and by the way, so when the Fed raises interest rates all this time, remember, they're servicing a debt and they're just paying higher rates. So it's kind of counterintuitive in my mind to just keep printing money and having to service a debt with higher rates. So I'm going to go back to my statement. We have a blind Fed leading us. I don't think they're in tune with what we're doing. But time will tell, time will play out. And unfortunately, we're stuck in the mix of it. But back to the point, I really see the US dollar going much, much, much lower.